Hey everybody, Dave here. Hope you're having an awesome day. So I have a really quick story before I get into today's build. When I was about 9 or 10 years old, I used to take my money and I would actually go buy See's Candy Suckers. They were the stick candy cane, and they were 5 cents a piece. And I would buy them at See's Candy and I would take them to school and resell them for 25 cents. Then what I did was I actually saved up enough money and I bought my own sucker molds, and I would make my own suckers even cheaper and go sell them to my classmates at school. And so that fast forward many, many years, and I had this stupid harebrained idea. I've actually been wanting to do it for about a year, and finally got connected with the right people to do this. So I wanted to make Robo Pops. And the idea is it's RoboCop's head, but as a sucker. And so what I did was I actually sketched up a kind of a characterization of RoboCop. And then my buddy Ray from Stumpt Workshop, he actually sculpted it in Nomad Sculpt. And so we kind of partnered together on this, and he 3D printed them in a green translucent resin. And they look awesome. But these are not a real sucker. This is like a piece of art. It's like a designer toy. But then I got this crazy idea. I was talking to my mom. She's like, why don't we make suckers? So I made a mold, and I made suckers that you could actually eat. So this video is going to be about how the heck did I do this and why? I don't know, but let's do it. Alright, so I'm going to make this mold, and originally I was going to use this cardboard, but I felt, it's a little rough, so instead I kind of laid out the 3D printed heads and kind of got the spacing, and then I'm going to take these 3D resin heads and glue them onto this cleaner piece of foam core. Now I want about a 1/2 inch to an inch around these heads, just so the mold can kind of have some room to flow around this. Now, I want you to know, I am by no means a master mold maker, so this is not a how-to video. This is more of a process video, like Adam Savage normally says. For the walls, I'm actually using this polystyrene that my mom found at a yard sale in a free pile. It was like a huge box, and it's like a giant roll of it. So this is awesome. It's perfect. And I just kind of marked a line there so I could trim that off. And because it's polystyrene, I will be able to use this Tamiya thin set and glue that piece together. And then I'm going to go ahead and take a pencil and kind of scribe where the wall sits on the foam core. And the reason I'm doing this is I'm going to do a bead of hot glue all the way around the perimeter. And the reason you want to do this is the silicone mold, when you pour it in, it is really liquidy and it will just seep right out of any gaps. So I went ahead and did a bead all the way around, and then I set my wall on there, and I actually did a little bit of hot glue on the outside edge just to make sure I didn't have any gaps or any holes. Then I purchased this, it's a food-grade silicone mold, non-toxic, because I'm going to be making suckers, and I got this on Amazon. If you just type in food-grade, non-toxic silicone mold, you'll have a couple pop up. I paid about $15 or $16 for this. I underestimated how much to mix. The first batch was pretty small, but it is a 1-to-1 ratio. You just mix it 3 to 5 minutes. So here I am just stirring it up. And then when I pour it, I will do a longer stretch so you have this really thin bead. I have made a couple of molds. I'm not by any means great at this, but like I said, I totally underestimated. So this is the second batch here. And I was a little nervous, so I had a bag of chopped up old parts that you can drop in, and it kind of helps fill up the space and the volume, but I could not find that bag anywhere, so I frantically chopped up an old mold, kind of dabbed him in there, got it looking great, turned around, and sure enough, there was the bag sitting on the chair right behind me. Does that happen to anybody else? Is that just me? I don't know. But here's the finished mold. It looks great. I'm going to get together with my mom, and we are going to make some suckers. All right, we got the mold here. We're going to make some suckers. We've actually done a little bit of experimenting, but wanted to walk you through the process. And look who's here. Ta-da! All right, so for this batch, we are going to try lemon. Pouring fourth of a cup of...
Half a cup.
Or half a cup of what?
Corn syrup.
Corn syrup, okay. All right, our pot is empty right now, but we've got our candy thermostat. Is that what it's called, Mom?
Candy thermometer.
Candy thermometer, that's what it meant. And it has to get up to 300 hard crack. So that's what we're gonna work towards. Okay, we put a fourth of a cup of water in with the corn syrup, mixing that up. And then what's gonna happen, Mom?
Then I'm gonna pour in 1 cup of sugar.
All right.
And then dissolve this on medium-high heat.
Okay.
And then pour that into that. The sugar is dissolved. And cook it on medium-high heat.
So the first batch we did, it took about 15 minutes to get to medium-high.
I think so.
We'll keep track of the time and see how long it takes.
A little bit.
All right, it's been about 5 minutes and we're at about 150 degrees. And Mom's just stirring it just so it doesn't burn in the bottom of the pan. Once it starts to boil, you don't need to stir it anymore. And you can kind of see some bubbles. They're building up on the bottom, but not quite yet. All right, we're about 8 minutes in and it started boiling, so we're not up to our 300 yet, but we're getting there. Okay, so we're 20 minutes in and we're at 250 degrees, so it is a little bit slower than I was thinking, but we're also on an electric stove, so I'm not sure if you had a gas stove and a flame, if it would go faster or not, but slow and steady wins the race. Okay, we're at 300 hard crack. Okay, that was about 25 minutes. And now it's boiling still, but you have to let it cool down and then you put the flavoring in. All right, so we're gonna let this cool down until it stops boiling. We're gonna put about a half a bottle of this lemon flavoring. Laura Ann Gourmet said put half a bottle. A little bit more. I love how it pours and runs down the side. Love it. We're gonna do about 3 drops of yellow food coloring just to give it some fun lemon look. That smells yummy. It's got a nice lemon flavor to it. Smell.
Right.
Okay, our first pour. Slow and steady, Mom. Ooh, that looks good. Okay, we were noticing when we let it cool down a little too much, when you push the sucker stick in, it kind of is already hardened, so it's kind of collapsing in and caving in on itself. So I think what we'll do next time is put them in while it's still pretty hot, and then we'll just kind of keep adjusting the sticks as we go. And this is what happens when you get impatient and pull it out too soon. Mom, well, Mom just said, this is RoboCop's thumb. All right. Actually, if you just kind of rock it back and forth, they just kind of pop right out. Oh yeah, that's great. Little RoboPop. All right, so this is just me and Mom having a little bit of fun. Made a bunch of lemon and strawberry. We're thinking about making a little bit darker flavor, maybe like a blue raspberry, just so the head is a little bit easier to see. But yeah, we might pack these up and bring them to DesignerCon. Let me know if you're interested in one of these. Okay, that was a super fun project. Getting to work with Ray at Stumpt Workshop, getting to work with my mom, and my mom's a blast. She's super fun. So I don't think I'm going to do any turnaround shots of this thing, but thanks for watching this, and I hope you enjoyed it. And you know what? If you've got a crazy or dumb or stupid idea and you're like, I just don't know, do it. It's so much fun. Like, it's so cool to see something that comes from your head and becomes an actual thing. And now I've got some RoboPops, so it's a great day to be a toy nerd. Have a great one.